All right, welcome back. Okay, so we're doing these ones now, and now we don't have the same common denominator, but we can approach it the same way as we approached our... Oh, I can't move now. 1 minute. Okay, it's working now. So we can approach it though the same way that we did just our just typical adding or subtracting fractions questions, right? It's gonna be the same thing, but now we just got x's and y's involved too. So if we look at this question, what we have to do is figure out, okay, what's the common denominator going to be for both these expressions? And the easiest thing to make a common denominator for both of these is, what about 2 times m minus 5? That has to be a common denominator for both of these because you're multiplying them together. So let's make our common denominator 2 times m minus 5. So now we just got to figure out how to get there for both of them. So if we're doing that, we're gonna multiply. Here, I'm gonna just write this out again so we can see what we're doing. So 4 over 2 plus 5m over m minus 5. It might help to put that in brackets in the bottom for now. Now what we gotta do is get both those denominators to where we want it. So we're gonna multiply them by, I'm gonna multiply this by m minus 5. If I do that, though, I also have to multiply the top by m minus, it's a minus sign, 5. All right, you follow me so far? Hopefully. Okay, so now this one's got the common denominator we want. Now all we gotta do is change it so this one has the common denominator we want. And to do that, all we have to multiply it by is 2. Multiply the bottom by 2, but then we also multiply the top by 2. Okay, now that we've got that mess kind of figured out, let's just rewrite this below in a way that makes sense. So we're going to have a denominator of 2 times m minus 5. I know that. And the top is going to be these two added together. So it's going to be 4 times m minus 5, just this part, right? Plus 2 times, that was this 2, times 5m. Okay, now if we just simplify this a bit, I can just go 4 times this and 4 times that, and then, this would be 10 up here, so I'll simplify that over here and call this 4, actually, you know what, I'm going to simplify that up here so we have room. So we'll call that 4m minus 20 plus 10m. And that just came from here, right? The 2 times the 5. Or 2 times the 5 in that step. Okay, and that's still all over the same denominator that we figured out. That was 2 times m minus 5. Now we just gotta collect like terms, so we got 4m up top, 4m or 10m there. So this is gonna be 14m minus 20 all over 2m minus 5. Okay, so we're pretty much there, but what I want to do is factor the top one more time. Those are both even numbers, 14 and 20. I know I can factor a 2 out of there, which is perfect because I got a 2 down the bottom that I can probably get rid of then. So one more step here. We'll factor out the 2 in the top. I'm left with 7m minus 10 over 2m minus 5. Now my 2's cancel, and I'm left with my answer. So this is my answer in the end. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. I wish I would have left you guys more room for these. I can tell I'm already having trouble. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do 6 and yeah, do 6. Actually, you know what? I lied. I'm going to do 6 and 9. The only 2 more I'm going to do, and then you guys can fill out the rest of it. So 6. Okay, so for 6, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this. So let's say this is equal to 3 over 3n. But then I'm going to leave a big space here because we're going to multiply this by something in a minute. So I'm just going to leave a space to kind of make that easier to show you. So plus n minus 5 over 2 n plus 3. All right. Now again, we need to look at the denominators and say, okay, what can I get for a common denominator of those two? Really, what's going to be the easiest is going to be to multiply them together. So in the end, what I really want my denominator to be is just 3n times 2 times n plus 3, right? That whole big mess, because I'm just multiplying those together, right? So yeah, just that. Okay, so the way we get there is by multiplying the top and bottom of this term by this. So let's do that over here. So if we did that, we're going to multiply the bottom by 2 times n plus 3. I just multiplied it by that, right? And if I do that though, the top also has to be multiplied by the same. Okay, so we're good there so far. Now, I look at this, the next side here, and I say, okay, what do I have to multiply that by? Well, I need to multiply this by 3n. There, now both of our denominators are the exact same, right? They're both 3n times 2 times n plus 3. They're kind of written in a different order here, just the way I did it, but they are the same thing. So if we carry on with that, we can just right below that, we can say, okay, this is equal to, I know my denominator is going to be, I'm going to put the 2, yeah, doesn't really matter. Keep it like this for now. 3n times 2 times n plus 3. I'm going to change this into a 6 later, the 3 times the 2, but for now I'll leave it like that. Nope. Okay. So we're good there. Now if we look at the top, let's just start writing this mess out. So 3 times 2 times n plus 3 plus n minus 5. And notice I put it in brackets. It's just kind of easier to keep track of things for now, right? Especially when it's like something minus something or something plus something. So that times 3n. All right, now we can see one thing to watch though. Let's make this a little simpler. I'll write this out one more time. This is actually, this part's 3 times 2 is 6. So that's 6 times n plus 3 plus, I'm going to put the 3 minus n on the other side. Doesn't really matter, but it might just be in a form that you're more used to seeing. So 3n times n minus 5. Man, stupid pen. And minus 5. Okay, all over 6 n times n plus 3. I just multiplied the 3 and the 2, right? Okay, so we're not done yet. Now we got to simplify again. You can see that we'd like to be able to cancel some stuff. So can I just go n plus 3 on the top? Like I got n plus 3 up there, and then I've got n plus 3 on the bottom. Can I just cancel those? No, you cannot do that. That's the most common way people make a mistake in these questions is they cancel those thinking, oh great, n plus 3, n plus 3. N plus 3 has to be in every term on the top for them to cancel, right? You can't just pick it out of one of the terms up top and cancel it in the bottom. It would also have to be in this term if you were going to cancel it. Okay, so you can't do that. So what we got to do, let's factor this. So let's go that times that, or expand this, I mean, that times that, that, and that. So let's move this all on up here. This becomes 6n plus 18 plus 3n squared minus 15n. Okay, and this is all over, what was it? 6n times n plus 3. Okay, now I'm going to simplify the top a bit because I've got 6n and minus 15n. I can rewrite that. So let's rewrite the whole thing with Alrighty, that's 3n squared because I want descending power. So 3n squared. And then minus 9m. N, I mean, sorry. It's getting harder and harder with my pen. Minus 9n plus 18 all over 6n n plus 3. And you might be thinking, man, we got to be getting close to being done. And we are. We're almost done. But if I look at all the terms on the top of the numerator up here, I see that 3 goes into 3, goes into 9, and goes into 18. So let's factor a 3 out of that. So if I do that, I've got 3 n squared minus 3n plus 6 all over. We just need a different pen. Maybe that one's better. All over 6n n plus 3. Okay, we can see right now though that I can simplify. You know, that 3 and the 6 would become a 2 down there, right? Just 3 over 6 is the same as 1 over 2. And we're almost there. Seems like we're getting close. And it's equal to, and now this looks familiar, right? We can end up factoring the top there. We can factor the top. I say, okay, what numbers multiply to 6, add to negative 3? And you think about it, and you think about it, and yeah, there's none. 2 and 3, there's no way that's going to get me to negative 3. 1 and 6, that's no way that's going to get me to negative 3 if I add them. So there really is none. So we actually have figured out the answer here. The answer here is just going to be n squared minus 3n plus 6 all over 2, because we changed that, right? We canceled the 3 and the 6. All over 2n plus 3. And that's it. So that was definitely a tougher question. I know I said I was going to do another one, but this video is getting pretty long. Yeah, I think you guys will be able to tackle this one on your own, hopefully. Just know that your denominator for this one, just like we did before, is going to be n plus 1, n minus 3. So we need to do what we need to do to make our denominator this for both terms, right? So just like before. Okay, so I'm going to end the video there, and I'll see you guys in class.